Hi everyone, thanks for coming back. I am Eloy Lafar. You know me, you probably recognize this very complicated accent. If you are watching the video on YouTube, you will have subtitles, probably in your language. If your subtitles are not in your language, that's not on me. You need to make the recording with someone else. If you are supporting this, thank you, thanks too much. I am trying to create a virtual space where everybody feels comfortable, everybody feels identified. So for that reason, you will see in every video different people with different backgrounds, different colors, different accents, because the idea is to create a space where everybody belongs together. In this video, we have the opportunity to finally talk with Miss Aida. Miss Aida is a Cuban-American author. She's author of 4 books. 2 of them will look in Mojo. These are Creating and Crossing. I'm not really sure.
Crossing, yes.
That and Destroying Relationships. Also, of these 2 books that are available in the market and everywhere, she has 2 books with Weiser. Hoodoo Cleansing and Protection Magic, that is the book through I has the amazing opportunity to meet her because it's a really amazing book. I really adore it. And now she is very close to launch her next book, the 4th one, that is Hoodoo Justice Magic, that will be available in the market for the end of this year. It's now in pre-order. So if you want the book about which we will be talking, you will have the link below of this video. Hi, Miss Aida, how are you doing?
Fine. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Great, I'm doing great. Finally have the opportunity to talk to you face to face because we have almost 3 years talking in the phone. We talk a lot. We are very friends with each other. We talk about everything, but we never talk in the screen.
Well, that's because you're complicated. You do that Instagram stuff, and
yes.
I don't. You're always telling me, do this with Instagram, do that with Instagram, but I don't know how to do any of this stuff. You know, you're so young and I'm so old, and you know, I'm so glad.
Older are the rivers. Older are the rivers. And they continue running. So it's not an excuse. I am your teacher. You know that anything you can ask me and I will be there for you. And I will teach you. Don't care the hour. You can call me at 2 a.m. and tell me, Eloy, I need to do this. You know I will be there for you. Like the song.
Thank you. Yeah, but you know all that modern stuff. I don't know anything modern. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty complicated. I know that because I come from my generation was comfortable in that way because we born, not like the new generation, they literally born with a smartphone in their hands. I come from the generation where we have these very big computers in home, but we go evolving and now we have laptop, now we have phones, now we have phones with cameras. So I can see all of this evolving. For me, it's very easy to tell because it's just something new that you put in there, but it's not so complicated. So
yeah, but guess what? I'm using the big computer that you started out with years ago.
Yeah, I imagine.
Because you're always saying, use your phone. And I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I have to have my big computer.
It's complicated, but when you find the way, it's pretty easy to use and it's a lot of fun because it helps you to connect with everybody else. Every time that you go to a different social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, when you go out to a new place, you find there that you have a lot of fans and followers and readers in there that you was ignoring because you was in another platform. That happens a lot. But I totally understand you because some platforms are very advanced for me. So sometimes I like, okay, I am too much old for this. I mean, I can do TikTok. I can do Snapchat. That's for younger people than me. It's too much.
Wow. I can't imagine you not knowing how to do something because you know everything about computers.
Yeah, but because it's a place for, I think that it's a place for younger people. And I like to give them their space. I imagine that they are like my nephews. So you need to have a space where you are with your generation, with your people, and you don't feel like someone else. Because you know what is uncomfortable? For example, you are on Facebook and you are on Instagram. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. sometimes you go to every platform and you see the same person in every platform, doing the same stuff in every platform. And sometimes this made you doubt, like, this person really is working or is just all day in social media? I mean, this made me doubt.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very important, stay there, but choose which are your tools and not take all the tools. For example,
Right.
I choose, yeah, for example, I choose don't use TikTok because I think that that's a platform for younger witches, younger people. So it's a place where they are very fast. They learn very fast.
Yeah.
It's a different generation than mine. So it's important that they feel that they have a space just for them, where the grandpa, like me, is not going there.
You're young. You are young. I'm the grandma.
We can be the grandpa and the grandma. We can create our clue, family there, common people.
That's right. We can do that. I like that idea.
Yes, we can read the news and stuff. So, Miss Aida, I start here. You born in Cuba, correct?
No, I was born here. My mother was born. My mother was born in Cuba.
Okay, so you have any opportunity to connect with Cuba in some way? You have the opportunity to travel, or you have some family here that made you feel
Yes,
like...
I had family here. So my tios and tios, they got here not at the same time. My mother got here before Castro.
Wow.
Okay. And it was her intention to go back. And I remember when I was a little girl, she got a letter from her mother, don't come back, right? Because Fidel Castro, there was some stuff going, but everybody, you know, they got out. My tios and tias got out, but my grandparents, they didn't get out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a very complicated talk or conversation here.
right.
But I really appreciate your honesty about this topic. So now you live where exactly?
Where do I live?
Yes.
I live outside of Detroit, Michigan.
Perfect. I am the new one here in the country. I am totally new. I don't know anything about the country. So tell me, which is your favorite thing about the place where you live? The favorite thing about your city that make it the place that you choose to live?
What is my favorite place about Michigan?
Yes.
We have the 5 Great Lakes, and they're beautiful. And if you ever get an opportunity, you must see Lake Superior because it looks like an ocean. It's just majestic. All the Great Lakes are beautiful, but Lake Superior is the best. I love being surrounded by this type of waters. It's just lovely. And we have lots and lots of rivers here. And, you know, as you probably know, you know, Shun has my head, so I'm very comfortable around rivers. And we have a lot of them here in Michigan.
That's very nice. You are perfectly in your place, in your little kingdom there. That's nice.
My kingdom.
It's your kingdom. Every
Not
woman
with the coronavirus, there is no kingdom. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, everybody's been locked up like a prisoner. You know, the last year was terrible, just terrible.
Yes, that's one of my questions for every guest in here. How was the 2020 for you?
How well what?
How was the 2020, the year for you?
It was tough. It was very tough because I don't know about the other states, but we had a lot of restrictions. Our restrictions were so bad that we couldn't even buy seeds, you know, seeds to plant food and flowers, which made absolutely no sense. None. Yep. And it was just a little bit too much. You know, I'm not happy with the way things were handled. And then I heard that a lot of the COVID patients were sent to nursing homes, and a lot of the older people died. What upset me the most was I'm a helper. You know that I'm a registered nurse. I'm by blood and profession emergency. Okay, that's what I do. And one of my best friends, he's an emergency doctor, and we're both retired. And they were calling on television, just like they were doing in New York, calling on television. We need nurses, we need doctors. And they were showing all these crazy hospital scenes. And oh, we're so desperate. That doctor and I called every single hospital in both our areas. We have like something called a tri-county area surrounding Detroit. So you have Wayne County, Macomb County, Oakland County. We called every hospital in those counties and nobody needed us. And then later on, it turned out they were laying off nurses and doctors. So I guess what I hated most about the whole COVID thing was there was a lot of political lies, a lot.
Yes.
And what upsets me the most is we pay the politicians. We are paying them to represent us, not to dictate us. And
Exactly.
what I'm seeing a lot of, and it scares me, it really does. I'm seeing glimpses of Fidel Castro and how he started his regime. He had a lot of false promises, a lot of false lies, and he got followers with those false promises and false lies. And then once he was able to take over, what did he do? He killed all the people that helped him to get in power. So, for people like you and me, this is an exceptionally scary time because you're from a socialist country. My mother is from a communist country. And I guess if you haven't experienced what you've experienced, what my family's experienced, you don't understand the impact. People don't understand the impact of the fear that you and I go through.
Yes,
right?
that's true.
Because they haven't been through it. There was no experience.
Yes, it's a complicated talk when we try to speak about this kind of situations with someone else because their perspective is just based on books and documentaries. They don't live in a situation like us. They know what's there, for example, 12 hours in a day just making the line for a bag of milk every month. It's the kind of things that they don't process very well in their mind because they lack on this experience that we really don't wish to anyone because it's a really bad experience.
Right.
And yes, 2020 was a very tough year. Was so complicated. It was so much because from the moment that the year started was one thing after other, the coming probably third war. When we were so anxious about it, just come the COVID situation and was like, oh, now that is all news. This is a new one. And was every time more and more news and more stuff and was a very complicated year. One of the things that this year forced us to do was evolve in technology. Was if you want to connect with someone else and you don't like technology, you need to do it. You need to find yourself on Instagram. You need to use Messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram, all of these platforms to try to create connection. That's how I create this little show. I suffer anxiety, and I had an attack of anxiety here in home. One day I was literally in the corner crying because we need to go to the market that day. And I say to my partner, I can go to the market because I can go sick, because I am literally the person responsible to send money to all my family out.
Wow.
So I was just thinking, if I sick and I die, who will care for my family? Because they literally don't have anything else or anyone else. So
That's a
was
lot of responsibility. Wow.
yes,
Wow.
yes, and was a very hard attack that I has here. I don't want. I was totally locating myself, and the next day I feel better. So I was like, okay, I need to do something because I need to be more conscious. And if I'm feeling in this way, probably other people is feeling the same way. So I started to do live videos. I'm inviting my friends. Oh, come here. You don't have anything else to do in this hour. Come here. We can talk for 1 or 2 hours, and your followers can come and disconnect a little from the reality and talk about something different.
But people don't know that you came here penniless. People don't know what you went through.
Yes,
You came
yes,
here penniless,
without
on the
anything.
streets of New York. I mean,
Yes,
people,
I
you
know
don't
the
tell
corners.
people this, okay? And boy, I'll tell you, I admire you so much. I could never do that. I could never come into a strange country and I don't speak the language at all because when you came
That's
here,
the
you
hard
didn't
part.
speak English, right? And you
Yes,
were broke,
yes.
you were penniless. People don't know this about you, and it's incredible. Your story is incredible and what you've accomplished. And you
Thank you.
haven't turned your back on your family. Look what you're saying. You're supporting all these people in Venezuela.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's incredible what you did.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
really admire you. I really do. You're a great, great man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate. And yeah, and yes, was a tough decision when I decided to come here. But the option to stay there not was a very good option for me because I love freedom too much. And so I just go out and I was just thinking, if I stay there more time, who will help to my father or my mom? Because I mean, it's a country where a doctor for his work after go to the college and all of this, a doctor receive every month like $8.
Oh my God.
A normal and another person, and that's a lot of money there. Another person just receive. I mean, if you work in the market or in a store, you receive like $2 or $3 a month. That's your salary for a whole month of work. So
That's terrible.
yes, so was a very tough decision because it was like if I stay here with my family, I mean I am with my family, with my nephews that I really love. I am practically the father of my nephews. We are together all the time. But I was thinking if I am in there, it's not worth it. So I need to go out. Will be painful emotionally, but it's the correct decision. It's the right decision because at least I know that my father and my mom are eating 3 times a day. It's like okay, I can go with my conscience totally light to sleep every night.
Wow. Wow. Incredible.
So next question for you here, because this is about you. This is not about me.
I know, but your
You, you,
story
you
is
are you are
incredible.
the
And I think people should know. People should know what you've been through.
yes. That's true. Sometimes it's not like for show off. I really like to say persons about my story because when people complain about small things, I'm like, can be worse. I know for fact that can be worse. That happens. That happens, especially with younger people, because younger people they have it. They come from a world that have everything so easy. I mean, they buy everything on Amazon. That's something that I don't grow up with Amazon because we don't have that in my country.
Right, right.
You don't buy smartphones or clothes via internet in my country. It's something that just you see that people see it, people do it in the films, but you don't do it in reality in the country. It's something that is just for these people. So sometimes from the ignorance, people feel entitled to have opinions about things that they really don't know. So I like to say, oh, I come from there. So let me tell you a little story, a very terrifying story here. And I told this story everyone, and they are like, oh, wow, that's harsh. Yeah, so please be a little more grateful with your life.
Right, 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 right.
So
And things won't always remain the same. It's not going to always be easy.
exactly,
You
exactly.
know, I mean, history repeats itself. And
Yes, always happens.
yeah, so always be prepared for the unexpected.
Yes. Miss Aida, you are a veteran, correct?
Yes, Air Force veteran.
Air Force. Amazing. So, how do you think this has any influence in your magical work?
In my magical world,
Yes, how this influence, for example, I was in the military school for years, and I don't like to admit it, but this gave me some discipline. I am a very responsible person with my clients. Being tarot reader, I have a very specific schedule for everything. When I program a client for a reading, I program 2 times. I have this time for you, and in case that you can do it, I have this second time for you. I am very organized, and that is something that I learned in the military school. So in some way, influence my magical work. Do you think that maybe this experience for you has any influence in your magical work?
I think basically you said it for me, you know, to have integrity, to be a
Yes.
person of my word, to never try to trick anybody out of money, to never lie to anybody to get money, to say when I'm going to do something, I do it, and accountability. You know, I'll give you an example. Whenever I perform spells for people, they get picture after picture after picture. I drive them crazy with the pictures. And, you know, I let them know each and every step. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Um, you know, you've got to have some integrity. And, you know, unfortunately, you don't see that a lot these days. And it seems to be that there's so many people, you know, and I wrote about this a little bit in Hoodoo Cleansing and Protection Magic, you know, that, you know, because of the internet, you know, there's so many frauds out there, and they just claim they can perform miracles and steal money from people, take their money, don't do anything, blow them off. You know, it's horrible. I mean, for me, it's that's my other dog. For me, that's it's just terrible to do that. You know, we everybody should be accountable. You know, and the one thing that I know, I'm kind of getting off of the track a little bit, but the one thing that I encounter a lot are people that continue to pay these con artists that are on the internet
Yes.
because they get threats of being cursed. You know, if you don't keep paying me, I'll
Yes.
curse you. Or if you report me, I'll curse you. And, you know, other scams that are out there. I know we're not on that topic, but, you know, I'm talking about integrity and honesty.
Yes.
So I want to talk about the opposite. Okay. And, you know, the one message I want to get across to everybody, and I think it's very important, when somebody pays somebody for a spell and the spell doesn't work, okay, and then the con artist who calls himself a spellcaster or a medical practitioner that gives us a bad name, right?
Yes.
But you got to keep paying me. You got to keep paying me or else I'll curse you. Well, think if the spell that you paid the person to manifest didn't work, how are their curses going to work?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know,
It's a
think,
logical thing.
I mean, I know one person that called me. He was terrified. He is paying a woman $300 a month for nothing. I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing. Okay. She demanded this money or else she would curse him. And he had to get a part-time job. He had a full-time job. He had to get a part-time job to pay her all this extra money. And I said, look, you have to stop. This is a con. Let's call the FBI. I'll help you. And he didn't believe me. He was that scared. And to this day, he's still paying her that money.
Wow.
And I wonder how many other people she has paying her. You know,
Yes.
I wrote a book on cursing and crossing. And when I was with Lucky Mojo, I was known as the cursing and crossing queen. Okay. I've written a new book, Hoodoo Justice Magic. And what do I talk about all the time in both books? You have to be justified. I would never threaten to curse anybody, ever. You know, that's just unheard of. It's terrible. So, you know, what influence does the Air Force have on me? What influence? And I would say honor, integrity, and honesty.
Wow, thank you. It's a really amazing answer. So now that you are talking about your books, we can go there. You have 4 books, 3 in the market, available literally everywhere. All of them with very nice, amazing, lots of reviews on Amazon and Goodreads, because your books are really good. And you have a new one coming out very soon, ending this year.
November 1.
Exactly. That is now in pre-order. That is Hoodoo Justice Magic. So first, let me go chronologically. You start with Lucky Mojo. Yeah, Hoodoo Justice Magic. This is the picture for the video. With everything and the dog behind.
So I started out with, I brought the books. I started out with this book.
Exactly. Tell me about it, because it's an interesting topic, and how you pass from that to now, that the contrary, Hoodoo Justice Magic is like a total change.
What's the difference between cursing and crossing and Hoodoo Justice Magic? Is
Yes,
that what you're asking me? So
yes.
Cursing and crossing, you know, cursing and crossing and destroying relationships. I wrote those for the Lucky Mojo Curio company. And, you know, we do list a lot of the products sold with, you know, by Lucky Mojo. Although I do have an incredible amount of spells that don't require products. But, and I'm very, very, very grateful to Catherine Ironwood for allowing me to write these books. I'm very grateful, because she opened the door for me. But the problem with these books is they're only 96 pages. So I'm not able to express all my ideas. I'm not able to express a lot of things. In Hoodoo Justice Magic, I'm able to elaborate on things. I'm able to talk about the different prayers and what the prayers are. I mean, people don't realize this, but there are actually prayers that are designed for cursing. Justified cursing. Okay, not just to curse anybody. So you can work with God. You can work with saints, and you know, I really don't like to use the word cursing. I prefer the word righteous vindication, right? So an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So I have a lot of prayers in there, and in the new book, Hoodoo Justice Magic, and I have a whole bunch of recipes in there. So there's a bunch of spells. I think I have 129 spells, but this book is designed for anybody. It's designed for people who practice magic, but it's also designed for people who are afraid to practice magic, who are more religious. Okay, well, I got a whole bunch of prayers in there and a whole bunch of saints to go to ask for help. and even God. There's Psalms in there. People don't realize this, but Psalms, those are basically spells.
Exactly.
They're verbal spells. So,
Exactly, they are.
so I mean, it covers everything. So you've got recipes, you've got prayers, you've got rituals, you've got, I go into great explanation about candle magic, and I know I've covered a lot of things that candle magic books never cover, because I go by my experiences, what I've seen, what I've experienced when I'm working with candles, and the different types of candles, and how to work with them and what they mean. Hoodoo Justice Magic, you will know the whys of everything in the house. You will know what caused your spell not to work, what caused your spells to have a different outcome. You'll get quite an education.
Nice.
Whereas the Lucky Mojo books, they're basically spells on how to get that revenge.
Got it, I understand. And you have a second one with Lucky Mojo Curio that is destroying relationships.
Right.
How the idea of this book?
How
Because
the
just the title is like, wow.
I know that the title isn't that great. I'm sorry about the title, but afterwards, because I'm not good at book titles. In fact, I talk to Weiser Publications and I say, boy, I really stink at titles. So they help me with titles. But this wasn't a great title, but it's also to send people away that are bothering you. There's banishing spells in there. There's hot foot spells, and hot foot is just a name of a spell that would send somebody away right away. But I do talk about it's a breakup book, how to break up people and send people away. Yeah, you're right. Destroying relationships is a little harsh, but we didn't want to copy other titles, oh, the breakup book, so we gave it a harsher title. Looking back, I'm kind of sorry about that, because it's a really good book, but it kind of turns people off by that title. Little harsh, but it's not that harsh when you're looking at it. And I do again talk about justifiably breaking up relationships. You just don't do it. If I was madly in love with you, I'm not going to just break up you and your partner because I want you. That's just not
Exactly.
justified.
Exactly. I understand. And anyway, you avoiding the title, your books has amazing covers and has lots of good reviews on Amazon and Goodreads. That's very nice, because this means that the people really enjoy the book so much that they read it completely and they take the time to go to make a review. Not everybody do that. And that's nice, because it says a lot about your material. You have, I mean, if you go to your page on Amazon and Goodreads, you have like 2,000 or 3,000 of reviews between all your books together. It's a lot. So it's a lot of people who really follow your work and they like your work and they enjoy it and they want to share with someone else and say, I have this book and it's so amazing that I want that you have it too. It's really good.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, the Hoodoo Cleansing and Protection Magic book, the one that's
Yes,
out now,
exactly.
right?
That's your third one, and it's with Red Will Weiser. And this,
Right.
and that book is our link, is where we meet each other.
Yeah, exactly. And it balances out the other books, because who better to tell you how to cleanse yourself and protect yourself than the queen of cursing and crossing, right? So,
Yes, yes. And it's a really nice book. It's really good. Tell me, how was this work for you? How was create this book for you?
because I had a lot of clients that they believe they're cursed when they weren't. But there were ones, every now and then you get somebody that was cursed, they get bad luck. I got a lot of people that wanted to pay me big money to remove their bad luck or to do protection. And, you know, I would never do that. It's like, you need to do this yourself. It's not hard. Okay. Don't pay a practitioner all this big money when you can do all of this stuff yourself. You're going to do a better job than the practitioner. You know why? Because I'm here. I'm here in Michigan. Okay. You might be a mile away from me, 10 miles away from me, 20 miles, 100 miles. Okay. I'm not going to be able to cleanse you like you can cleanse yourself in your home. But the book tells you in great detail why things are happening to you, why negative things are happening. It starts from the very beginning. Why are you having bad luck? Why are people treating you poorly? Why do you always end up hanging out with the wrong people? And then, you know, as a nurse, I like to go into the illnesses too. You know, why do people that are ill act so inappropriately? Why, you know, and I'm going to say this, I'm a nurse, I don't care. Why are ill people so mean, right? And it explains all of that. It explains what is happening to them and why is the caregiver so upset? Well, things are happening to that person too, you know, and the book talks about negative energies and how they accumulate and how negative energies bring on more negative energies. And, you know, the same begets the same. Whatever you have, you will attract more of. So if I'm having a bad day, and then, you know, the reason I'm having bad day is something started out bad, then I was the one that brought in more bad this and bad that.
Like a magnet. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if I hang out with the wrong people, there's something wrong with me that I'm attracting the wrong people. I explain that. I explain all of that in the book. And then it goes, you know, it's progressive. And then I eventually talk about when you bring in bad entities and how you bring in bad entities. But the beauty of the book is it tells you how to get rid of everything yourself. Don't pay a practitioner hundreds and hundreds of dollars for things that you can do yourself, and you can do it much better.
Probably. That's probably. So, my next question here, this is a very easy, a very silly question. These are two silly questions that I like to do to every author that I meet. Do you remember your first book on magic or witchcraft? The first one that you read?
Do I remember the first book I ever read on witchcraft? Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm very, very old. It had to have been something written by Sybil Leek. It had to have been. Because when I was younger, you weren't crowded with a lot of, you know, witchcraft back then, even fortune telling back then, you know.
Yes.
Psychic readings were illegal, right? So you weren't crowded with all these types of books. So it had to have been Sybil Leek. It had to have been.
Okay, and
I don't remember the title. I just remember things she said, and I was like, wow. But you know, she was a different type of witch. It wasn't the witchcraft that I was raised in, you know. So it was just basically out of curiosity.
Yes, got it. The second here is, do you remember your first spell?
By myself or with my family?
By yourself.
I don't know. I don't know if you would call in a bow a spell. So, you know, in Santeria, you know, you give offerings to the Orishas and then you ask for, you know, things in return, and it's called an abo. So if we're just talking about a magical spell, yeah, I remember I wanted so badly to take this defense class, and I forgot the name of it because I ended up taking karate, but I wanted to take this other thing in, and I was too young. They wouldn't let me. So I kept going every day and asking him, no, 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 no. So I remember I did a spell on the owner and the teacher, and they did accept me. So how old was I? I was probably 12. And they did accept me. But it was so funny because once I got in, I didn't like it. I said, I
Oh,
don't
no,
like
now I see. I'm not really interested. Thank you. That happens. That happens.
Yeah, and then I eventually ended up taking karate. I don't even remember what the name of this defense practice was. No clue. You're talking about ancient history. I'm 65, so we're talking many, many decades ago.
So, also something that you do and people really enjoy it, and this is the proof of how popular do you are, is that every week, every Sunday night,
Every other Sunday. Every other
exactly,
Sunday.
you make these live videos on your Facebook channel where everybody comes together. Your followers, your readers, new people who don't know who you are, they come together and they have the opportunity to meet you, to talk with you. You offer classes in there. It's a very nice virtual space where you are teaching every week something different. You talk about money magic, about cleansing, about hoodoo, about for magic, about praying. How is this for you? How do you choose which is the topic of the class? How do you feel doing it? What
I love
inspires you
doing
to
it.
do this
I
work?
love doing it. I get upset when, you know, again, these are mostly con artists, but I get upset when they charge people really, really big money to tell them nothing, right?
Yeah,
Or they read a book and then they start teaching a class, and you know those
just turn very blue. So something, Miss Aida, that I noted that you really like to do, and it's very amazing, is that you take your time every Sunday, and every Sunday night you make a live video on Facebook, on your Facebook channel, with your followers, your readers, the people who follow you and they love you, and they come every Sunday. They disconnect from the world. They stop doing anything else, and they come to your channel just to see what do you are teaching. And you teach about cleansing, hoodoo, for magic, sayings, prayers, and everything else. How is this time for you? How do you figure out to create this?
Yeah, I love doing the events, and I offer a lot of free magical coaching. And I'm a born teacher. I was a teacher in the Air Force. I love to teach people, and I want people to learn, and I want to offer some of my services for free, and that's what I do when I give free magical coaching, and to explain to people not only how to do things, but why they're doing it. Okay. I really enjoy it. I enjoy talking to the people. I enjoy the good questions. I enjoy the audience. such wonderful, wonderful people. The ones that are truly interested in learning, thank God, are the ones that watch my live events. And they are on every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Miss Aida Psychic Facebook. And feel free to join me. I have one, well, you'll have to check. It's every other Sunday. And after I teach people things, I give them an opportunity for questions and answers about anything, anything at all. And I'm fortunate enough that sometimes you join me, sometimes other seasoned practitioners join me, and they sometimes will input also. And it's very nice because I'm a Hoodoo practitioner, I'm a santera, I'm a bruja. I'm not familiar with Wicca or other Celtic practices. I'm not. And when they come in and give their input, it means so much to me. It's like, wow, we're all sharing information, all of us, and we're learning from each other and we're teaching each other. So that's what I do, and I love doing it.
Thank you for this time, Miss Aida. I know that you are very busy today. I really appreciate that you take the time to come here and make the video.
Thank you for having me. This was fun. Thank you.
Yes, we need to do it again. I need to convince you again.
Oh,
I need
no
to
problem.
force you again. I need to continue stalking you every day.
I know, but the thing is, before it was Instagram all the time. I'm like, ugh. But now we can do this with Zoom. Uh-oh, we have a storm coming.
Yes, I told you when you said no to Instagram because it's Instagram, I told you, don't worry, I will find the way, and we are here.
Yep, you sure did. You sure did.
Thank you everybody who take the time to come here to watch the video. I will let you all the links to Miss Aida below in the description. Check the books in there. If you have the books, take the time to make reviews on Amazon and Goodreads, and share the video with your followers, with your comment, with your group, because this is the way how we grow up and supporting each other, okay? Have a nice time, stay well, stay safe, and be kind. Thank you, Miss Aida, for your time.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.